Hey family, today is Wednesday, January 16th, 2013. Welcome to the third installment of the AikmanSwinny Diamond Club and the first official presentation. So our first quarter is all about health, and our first segment is all about the mind. So our first month is dealing with the mind. And as I mentioned before, I would like to start with a quote or some sort of empowering, positive tidbit to get us excited about what we're going to be discussing. And I decided to use a quote from Lao Tzu, who I think that's how you say it, the grandfather of Taoism. It's a rather famous quote, and most of us know it, but I thought it segued perfectly into what we're going to be talking about. It says, watch your thoughts, for they become words. Watch your words, for they become actions. Watch your actions, for they become habit. Watch your habit, for it becomes your character. Watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. And I like to add at the end, watch your destiny, for it becomes your legacy. And so just to dovetail on what we talked about before, legacy is the process of honoring those who came before you and laying the foundation for those coming after you while being your truest self in the present. And so self-love for the purpose of love elsewhere. Now, with that said, why am I talking about the mind and legacy, and how do those two things come together? Well, positive thoughts, positive words, positive actions, so on and so forth. And that's how, Lao Tzu was thinking about it, and it's the same thing here. But what happens when you're not thinking positively? You have negative thoughts, negative words, negative actions, negative habits, so on and so forth, that then deconstruct and decompose the very essence of the best life that you could possibly have. So how do we then ensure that we're always as positive as we can be? There are triggers. There are things that let us know when we're kind of getting off course from that positivity that we can then redirect and shift. And so the first thing is, what are you thinking? The next thing is, what are you feeling? And the third thing is, what are you doing? When you think about something negative and you realize that you're kind of harping on it, dwelling on it, there's a nice little activity that you can do. It takes about a minute and a half, about 90 seconds long. What you do is, for 7 seconds, you think about something positive. You pause for 3 seconds, and then you start again. And it could be anything. For me, it's literally the intro theme to the Boondocks. That's just my thing. I think about that for 7 seconds. I hum it to myself. I stop. I go back to it. I stop. And I do that over the course of 90 seconds. It's just a way of rebooting your brain. Literally, while your mind is that metaphysical concept of what you're thinking and feeling and all these things going on, it is triggered by your brain. And you literally, because of what you are thinking, rewire the physical matter of your brain. And there's a great book by Dr. Caroline Leaf called Who Switched Off My Brain that actually talks about the mind-brain connection and how your mindset can alter the physical makeup of your brain and how you can hardwire your brain to be positive even on a subconscious level. The next thing is, what are you feeling? So again, what you're thinking becomes part of what you're feeling. And another great book by Dr. Bruce Lipton is called The Biology of Belief. And it expresses the understanding that everything is made up of energy. So as you are thinking and feeling, you're actually transmitting energy and you're attracting like experiences to you. So for instance, you ever get up out of the bed in the morning, you stub your toe, you're feeling cranky, and then all of a sudden the rest of the day goes wrong? Well, that feeling, that emotion is sending out other energy sources, sending out a signal to other energy sources that says, I'm feeling crappy, I want crappy experience. And once again, you have to rewire and re-trigger your physical makeup to say, that's not actually what I want, I'm mistaken, you got it all wrong, switch it. So you go back to, what is a happy thought? What's a happy place? What's a good thought? And you think on it for 7 seconds. You stop for 3 seconds, and you go back to it for another 7 seconds. There's a great guy by the name of Dr. David Brazel, and he actually talks about the stop and go process of joy and neutrality, and how when you have a joyful experience and then you stop, you're actually, once again, rewiring your brain to prepare you to accept more positivity, to give off more positivity, and to stay in that space for longer. You're literally reshaping your brain and developing parts of your brain to allow for your mind to process and filter through a positive space as opposed to looking at things from a negative space. And we'll get into more of that the next time. And then the last thing is, what do you do? And so pay attention to how you respond to things. Do you notice that, for instance, when you stub your toe, the first thing out of your mouth, stub your toe, and you go, okay, breathe, okay, and so pay attention to how you react, pay attention to how you respond, because once again, what you say becomes, what you're doing, and what you're doing becomes what you're, and so it becomes habit and character form, and that becomes the norm. And so the ultimate goal here is to switch your norms from negative to positive. So just a little recap. You want to consider what you're thinking, what you're saying, what you're doing. When you find that it's not positive, you want to stop. For 7 seconds, you want to think on something that makes you happy. It's not something that should make you happy. It's what makes you happy. Then you want to wait for 3 seconds. Just think about nothing. 7 seconds of positivity, 3 seconds of nothing. And you do that over a period of 90 seconds, okay? So you'll have that over the course of 90 seconds. So it's 9 seconds apiece or 10 seconds apiece, and you do it 9 times kind of thing. With that said, I want everyone to try to do that over the course of the next day or two, and post here on the AikmanSwinny channel about your experience with that and how it worked out for you. So I'm hoping everyone finds a state of positivity, that we begin to shift our norms, and that as a family we begin to, just spread the joy, spread the love, spread the wealth, and start to see some shifts and see some things happening. I'm expecting lots of positive reports. If I don't get any, that's okay. I'm going to stay positive anyway. And, just looking forward to sharing, and can't wait to see some of the posts from other family members in the days to come. Love you guys, and talk soon.